Thanks for joining us for another episode of the NFTs Are For Everyone podcast. We're here today at the Paddo down in Paddington.
In BrisVegas.
In BrisVegas. They're hosting tonight's NFT BrisVegas event, which we're all very excited for.
Whee.
We're joined today by Renee, who is the marketing manager over at PUML. She's heading their social strategy, their new podcast, the Web3 Wellness podcast, and she also runs the events for all things blockchain, and she's blockchain savvy, which helps educate women and bring them into the space. PUML Better Health is an Australian-based sports tech platform that gamifies health and wellness. Sleep, steps, meditation, and hydration can all be worked into challenges that help you get active, moving from reactive to a preventative way of approaching physical and mental health. They achieve this by utilizing the blockchain and incentivizing their users by rewarding them with crypto and NFTs to encourage consistent activity. It's a revolutionary idea, and we really love it. One that I'm sure was very welcomed after the slew of lockdowns, after everything. Can you tell us more about the concept, where it came from, how it's been adopted since its inception in 2018?
Awesome. Hi, everybody. So I'm Renee. I am PUML Marketing, part of a really amazing small team of really talented people. So I'm very happy to be a part of that. So basically, PUML was developed by Damien King, who's our founder and CEO, in about 2018. He basically was working at a startup in London and was finding that he wasn't really looking after his health. He was working too much. And so he basically developed PUML to help himself through his own health challenges. So by creating the app where you'd be motivated by and incentivized by winning prizes, he developed the app over a number of years, which then became our corporate Web2 version of the app. So right now, the app is a fully functional Web2 app. So you don't have to know about crypto. You don't have to have a wallet. You don't have to know about coins or anything. You can just open the app, download, and start to use it. So it is fully functional that way. And we actually do a lot of corporate partnerships. So corporate sponsors, like we have big sponsors like Louis Vuitton and Deloitte. So like big corporations will use the PUML app as their internal corporate wellness program. And then they do prizes, and you can win things like gift cards and Fitbits and like cash prizes, all that sort of stuff. So the really exciting thing though is our move to Web3. So basically, we're going through the transition project of transferring from a Web2 company to now the Web3 company. So all of these PUML tokens, we have two tokens. So the PUML token, and then we have PUML X token. So PUML token is an internal token that works inside the app. Don't need to know about crypto. You can use it to buy the gift cards and all the prizes. But you can then transfer that PUML token, burn it for PUML X, and the PUML X is a crypto token, which then you can trade. You can be able to stake it. You'll be able to buy and sell it for fiat. So you can actually translate those tokens into actual cash. So that's basically step one. And then what we're actually doing is with the launch of the new app, which is coming in a couple of months, we're going to have a gamification kind of process whereby you can then buy NFTs, and those NFTs will have an exponential effect on your earnings. So right now you earn 10 PUML a day. You buy an NFT, all of a sudden you're making 50 PUML a day. You buy a really good NFT, you're making 100 PUML a day. So a similar kind of way that we have in the other, there's a lot of other move to earn apps that are doing similar things. But what makes PUML really different is that you don't have to buy the NFT, whereas all of these other apps, you have to buy the NFT. You have to have crypto. You have to have that Web3 knowledge in order to participate at all. Whereas we're the opposite way. You don't have to have any knowledge, but if you choose, you can choose to then access all of these extra functions and then exponentially increase your earnings. So that's really what makes us special.
Wow, you really touched on a lot there. PUML sounds very vast and very opportunistic for anyone who wants to get into bettering their health. It's very cool. It's very cool. And so I guess I just want to start with your corporate options now. That's PUML is a full functioning Web2 app. People are earning PUML. And you guys aren't just move to earn or play to earn. You guys are a fully holistic health platform.
Exactly. So a lot of these apps, they're either just step apps. So a lot of them, you have to either carry your phone as well. So the only way that you can earn money is that they're a GPS tracker. So they only work if you're walking around outside. Okay. So we're a fully integrated wearable.
Yeah.
So unlike a lot of other ones, you on a treadmill, if you're just like walking around inside, if you're doing swimming, like other sort of activities, we have the functionality to be able to use those and then incorporate them as well. So that's something that's different. They have a hydration challenge, so that just launched. If you drink 8 glasses a day, you get bonuses. We have a sleep challenge in the works, meditation challenges, which are active right now. So if you meditate like 10 minutes a day, there's lots of different things for those sort of holistic activities, not just for, because not everybody is super active or they're not able to be super active.
Yeah.
So they can still look after their health and their holistic wellness and get benefits as well. So you don't just have to be running 20 miles a day.
Awesome,
right?
awesome. And they get to do this with their friends, family, because everyone's on the app. You have these unique challenges that you can all partake in and engage in. That's incredible. And was your founder doing these challenges himself in the origin days, like giving himself challenges to be like, okay, I achieved this,
No, so Damien's like a super fit guy, like he's super active, and so he just like really loves that kind of thing. And it's like been good for us. We're actually doing a challenge, a staff challenge starting on the 1st. So we're really like ramping up to this to try and get us motivated, because we're all behind the scenes people. So we're all basically in the office, like, 8-10 hours a day at a desk. So it's good for us to kind of get that motivation. We've been doing a lot of meditation stuff actually, which has been pretty cool. But we just got a walking desk. So now we have a full walking desk. So we're all going to take turns at the office, like actually walking, and making sure that we're incorporating all of this into our, everyday work lives to live and breathe it basically.
So, okay, it started as a Web 2 application, and then you guys have obviously seen the advent of Web 3 coming through, and you thought we can utilize this technology. Can you explain to us a little bit about what it is about Web 3 that made you guys decide that it was the right time and place to move into?
That's excellent. So basically, the founder, Damien, he's OG crypto guy. So he's like, he bought his Bitcoin in like 2011. So he's been around for a long time. And so he kind of evolved that through his own experience. And so our origin story is that in 2018, there wasn't really a lot of this stuff going on. So our original app was built on EOS. So because basically Ethereum back then didn't have the functionality that it does now. And so we didn't really think that Ethereum would be basically able to scale in the way that it could have. So all of our original app was built on EOS. And so
it's just another blockchain.
Yeah, it's just another type of blockchain that was really popular back in the last bull run, but it hasn't really done anything since.
Any OG crypto bros know.
So anyone else knows EOS, or but basically Ethereum didn't have the functionality. It couldn't do a lot of stuff back then. So he didn't think you could scale. So we built on Ethereum. And then basically the bear market happened and all this development started happening, and then NFTs came along, and then Ethereum started developing, and like all of these layer 2s started happening that make Ethereum a viable option now. And especially as now we're an NFT platform, so we actually have 2 layers of NFTs. We actually are transitioning our entire app onto ERC20, so we are going to be fully virtual machine, everything on Ethereum, and then we're going to have 2 layers, one on Ethereum for our premium level NFTs, and then all of our utility NFTs are actually going to be on Matic. So
Matic, Polygon,
Yeah.
I noticed your bag over there. Polygon
yeah, so
Studios.
we got all the merch. So we are proud to announce we are fully partnered with Polygon Studios and Polygon. So we are, they invested in us and really believe in the product. And so, yeah, it's been very excited. We got this full merch kit with all this stuff. So we've got like
amazing.
socks and t-shirts and hats and like badges. So yeah, full on amazing experience.
Just to clarify, Polygon is a multi-billion dollar massive scaling solution to Ethereum, and PUML Australia, humble PUML Australia, working out of Coolangatta, northern Queensland, has partnered with Polygon. Incredible guys. That must be a massive milestone.
It was really exciting. So it all kind of, we did do the soft launch at NFC NYC. So we did a big party with them and had a big, we actually did a step challenge with Polygon in New York City. Cool. So there's people taking pictures and using the app in New York City, which is very exciting. But yeah, now we're official. We just did our big launch this week. All of this stuff came out. So yeah, it's very exciting because it's just Ethereum is great and it does have, massive possibilities, but for most people, like the gas fees can really hurt you, especially when it's very, very busy. So we wanted to make it as accessible as possible. And so just using Polygon, it's just the gas fees, but you're not losing anything now with all of these new upgrades that just happened. So it's all like these, roll up kind of things. So it's just a great option.
Yeah. Polygon really makes it a frictionless experience for people to enjoy the benefits of crypto without actually having to understand the nuances of blockchain, side chains, ZK rollups, all that kind of jargon. And that, I think, is what makes PUML a really strong contender in any kind of market, right? Bull or bear, because they still provide a fun, incentivized way to gamify and collect NFTs, participate with their friends and family, and do it without actually having to pay any...
with the crazy gas fees. So, it's very exciting. But we did have the premium level of the NFTs, but it's because it has a bigger market, I feel. So it's like that's why we wanted to keep our premium sports NFTs on the Ethereum layer.
Which also makes sense because people who really value NFTs, they understand how important
and they'll pay that. So and it's part of it for sure. So so it's very interesting the whole ecosystem works together. So
cool. And you mentioned just before we went live another big milestone potentially at the end of the year. You're having a token generation event.
Yes. So we are doing our official, because right now we have our PUML token, but that was on the EOS token. So this will be the full launch of the ERC20 token, which it's called PUML X, and we are going to be launching on big chains like KuCoin and Bybit and all this sort of thing towards the end of the year. So we're really ramping up everything and trying to get everyone really excited about it, because right now you can accumulate the normal PUML token, and then as soon as the actual launch goes through, you'll be able to burn those tokens into PUML X. And then that PUML X, you can use just like any other crypto. You can buy it. You're going to be able to stake it. You're also going to be able to stake the NFTs. So inside the app, you're actually going to not only earn the tokens and have the NFTs, then you can stake the NFTs to earn more income. So there's like so much functionality that you can have once you have a full crypto token.
So will gym bros and girls have a whole new option to create and sustain an income?
Well, this is the thing. Like, it's such an amazing opportunity because you're getting that the whole move to earn kind of like movement. It's about paying you to do stuff that you already do. And it's taking ownership of not only your activities, but, your own like private data, like all this sort of stuff. You're getting paid. You're doing this stuff already. Like if you're a crypto bro, or even if you're a gym bro, I should say, you're doing this stuff anyway, so why not make some extra money, It's really not that hard. And there's like lots of different ways that you can do this now. So this is very exciting kind of moving forward.
Absolutely. You mentioned data, and I know that's a really important pillar for you guys. Can you explain to our audience what the difference is with how you guys handle data being now a Web3 company instead of a Web2 company?
Basically, you need to have the empowerment that you own your data. So all of this data is being collected by everybody, the governments, like all of these apps, all this sort of stuff, and you never have any benefit for that. So once you actually take ownership of your data, and then now you're monetizing your own data, like that's another, amazing revenue stream, because that is basically what you're doing. Another really cool thing about the collection of all this data is that eventually we'll be able to use it and then put it, obviously like pseudonymous, like you wouldn't actually attach your names, but once you collect this data, we can then like send that to hospitals and universities who can use this data to kind of study things like cancer and disease prevention, because we're going to have all this like masses of data that we can actually use to benefit like mankind and actually like further our health goals, because we'll have all this data right now. It's just not collated, it's not used, and if anything it's used against you. But we do have the potential, once we have it, to then harness it for good and not nefarious purposes.
Absolutely. I love that. I just want to elaborate a little bit on this data thing, because people seemingly, and this isn't like throwing shade, but people seemingly and willingly give up their data to major institutions, insurance companies, governments, private Web2 companies, and this has been shared. And no wonder, like, you ever find you're talking about something and it pops up on your phone, or now you're being advertised or whatnot. So PUML's strategy is to actually aggregate what is usually referred to as dumb data, and then funnel that and create it into smart data that can then fund studies that can then benefit people and participants who, this is all powered by PUML. I think that's an incredible goal and vision to be moving forward, because ultimately that's a rising tide, raising all ships.
Well, it is, and it's everybody knows, or maybe they don't know, that data is already being stolen from them.
Yeah.
Like multiple different apps and things they're already taking this data from you, and then you have no idea where it is or what's going on. But at least this way, you're like, okay, I choose this, I don't choose this, turn it off if you don't. But if you want to be a part of that, that is an option, but then you're also getting paid for it. You know what I mean? Where all these other guys are just stealing your data and using it without your knowledge, and you're not getting any benefit from it. So it's about taking control and taking ownership, and that's really like what Web3 is. It's ownership. Like, you own all of your data, you own everything that you do, you own your NFTs, like you own all of these platforms that you're a part of. Like, that's what is so exciting about it, because the little guys never had power before, but now we have the power because we are a part of everything and we control it. So
It's pretty revolutionary, and probably something that people who haven't heard about this before might struggle to understand. Can you dive in just a touch deeper into how people are incentivized, or how people are remunerated for the use of their data?
So basically, that's it's a part of the app. So basically, once you're being connected to it, which you have to choose, obviously, you choose all your connections and everything. But then, if you're walking or if you're doing this, like, it's just you go through that process of having that choice. And if you don't want to do it, then you don't have to have that choice. Whereas before, like Web 2, basically the whole point of Web 2 is that all of these big companies, Google and Facebook, and they're taking all of your data without your consent a lot of the time, or like they're being pretty shady about it, because they make you sign all those things and tick these boxes. You have no idea what you're signing. You don't know what they're doing. And then that's how it's come out years later that they were doing all this sort of stuff. So you're gaining back that power by, consenting to like having this sort of thing be recorded. And then you're literally getting paid for just doing the normal things that you do every day. So whereas before they were stealing it without your consent and using it and making like billions of dollars in profit, because that's how Facebook makes all this money, right? It's like stealing all your data, like collating all your feeds and stuff, and then putting advertising back on you. But this time it's like, I choose to have this recorded, and then I choose to put it in this use. It's consent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're transparent with where it's going.
Yeah.
It's actually, that it's going to be going to build better products, services, studies that can better other people who use that.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
We're not selling it to advertisers to like hit you with things like that. It's nothing is ever sold, because basically the systems are just like, they're all like education, like in universities and that sort of thing. So yeah.
I wanted to talk about your NFTs. So you've got two different tiers, one of which is on Polygon, the other's on Ethereum. Yeah. I love the concept of bringing in sports stars that people can relate to and, invest in. And I love the idea that, Web3 enables that sort of collaboration. So, can we just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically with the gamification of the app, when we switch to the new token, it basically will, if you have an NFT, it will have a multiplier effect on your earnings. So say, like, if you get paid PUML every day. So we have a daily check-in function, however many steps a day, you get, say, 10 coins a day. But if you buy an athlete NFT, you might get 100 tokens a day. So, but if you get the Polygon one, which is the second tier down, you might only get a 2x or a 3x multiplier. So there's going to be that kind of functionality. So if you buy the premium one, you're going to get more multiplier. And all of the Polygon NFTs will have the different types of traits and things. So basically it'll be like speed, battery life, like kind of like things that are like charging, basically, because you'll get like different kinds of things like that. And all the different tokens will have different, tokenomics of how they will work. So you get to buy the one that you want. So say you're a long distance runner, you want something that's going to charge for a long time, so it's going to give you more life, and then you can earn more tokens that way. But in general, the athlete NFTs are going to give you a bigger multiplier effect than the regular ones.
Awesome. This is a really practical and utility-based application of NFTs. It's going beyond just, hey, we're just getting JPEGs. We're actually using NFTs.
They're utility tokens, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of skipped over I guess, a massive audience, right? They're like, well, what do you mean NFT? Right? And it's a multiplier, it's utility-based. You can actually get benefits to then gamify your experience with the PUML platform. Yeah. Especially, like you mentioned, like long distance runners, boxers, people who are into like wellness and meditation, or generally people who just like corporate corporate workers who love their job, but they're just like, look, I can't work out and exercise, but I can definitely hit my water intake. I can definitely hit my yoga. I can definitely hit my meditation. Kind of some assumptions there with the yoga, but we totally get it. I mean, like Deloitte is a very hardworking industry, and so just offering those opportunities to people and gamifying that experience, so innovative. And are your NFTs going beyond simply utility based, and they can be kind of collected and displayed, and people can kind of build their own social profile?
Exactly. So we're working on doing some brand collabs where you'll be able to like collab with your favorite brand and then use that on your NFT. We're doing some other stuff where you'll be able to use your NFT in the metaverse, because we actually have land in Decentraland and in Sandbox. We have built our first property in Decentraland right now, so you can actually go in there and just kind of check it out when we're building the other one in Sandbox. So you'll be able to use your tokens in the metaverse as well, because basically our API, which is a part of PUML, part of our proprietary kind of concept, our API can be used in multiple platforms. So you could start your own, athlete NFT, and then you want to give your people a chance to earn tokens. You can then take the PUML API and attach that to your project, and you would earn PUML and they could earn rewards rather than having to set up your own stuff from scratch. Other things like inside the metaverse, other platforms, you could, if you're walking in the metaverse for a job or something, you can attach the API and you would earn PUML, and you could do it that way without having to create all of your own, because the biggest part about the algorithm is how do you track and collate that information from the wearables and from your phone and then transfer that into actual tokens. So that itself is a really big job. So rather than having to do that all yourself, we can just take that and implant it anywhere else.
Yeah, that's huge. And I think that provides an amazing opportunity for other brands to join the ecosystem and just strengthen it from all sides. Yeah. For those listeners that might not have a full grasp on the metaverse or what its use cases are, can you talk to us a little bit about what your visions are for PUML and the metaverse?
Well, there really is endless possibilities for the metaverse. So I'm a big bull on, we're Ready Player One level. I honestly think that's where we're going. And then you look at companies like Facebook that are like 110% into metaverse, and they know what they're doing. They're putting hundreds of billions of dollars into doing this. So metaverse is the future, and it is literally, I think we're going to live and work in the metaverse. We're going to go in and put our things on, and my office in Paris will be there, and you guys will be sitting there virtually, and you'll be like in New York City, and we'll all be sitting around the table. And it's coming a lot faster than what people think. But that's one of the things. So say you're in the metaverse working, maybe you have to walk around the office, and then you're walking around there. You can earn tokens on PUML walking around in the metaverse, So it's like you're getting the bonus of being able to accumulate crypto even when you're not in the real world. So it's like, dual layers of like potential. It's like very, very cool. So yeah, I'm big bull on metaverse.
Yeah, wow. Do you think, just kind of diving into, you mentioned Ready Player One, it's quite a not necessarily dystopian, but it's a version of reality with the metaverse.
Hopefully not the external part of Ready Player One, because that's kind of scary, but like the internal, everybody kind of puts on their helmet, or they'll probably be contact lenses by then, and we will all live and work in that kind of shared space. I think that it's really going to be revolutionary, because it will really free up like countries like Africa or Asia where people don't have access to like the West. You could be living in Africa somewhere and work in New York City, because now all of a sudden, like, you've got access to crypto, you've got access to the metaverse. There's no longer that, barrier to entry for you to then do that. You can have your family, but you can still have access to like all the benefits of like living and working in these sort of environments. Yeah, it's very cool.
This is exactly what I wanted to touch on, because I think people would view these kinds of moves and be like, oh, I don't want this. And it's not actually that. If we're looking at this from a definite optimistic attitude, it's giving people the opportunity through decentralization, through innovation, to then connect with other brilliant minds all over the world and really deliver more value for the world. It doesn't, and then, leaning on the joke in Ready Player One is the company that is... Yeah, the IOI or whatever it is. Yeah, IOI, right. And then that's like a kind of a take on like the Zuck, the Meta, all the big guys. But ultimately, what happens is good overcomes evil.
The decentralized guys win, I think.
All the time, every day of the week, right? And it's like, I guess the point I'm trying to make is it's nothing to be resistant about. It's actually be curious, because the more curiosity you have is the more innovation you have, and the more creativity and wonder and love and opportunity that you'll bring to this world. Yeah. You know, it's not necessarily a disconnect and we're just going to enter an alternate reality, right?
Yeah. This is a huge opportunity for people who can then become banked. So once you become banked and have a crypto account, you then have access to DeFi. So if you have access to DeFi education, like trading, being able to stake, being able to create revenue streams like income. But then you also, if you're a creative person, NFTs, creating art, creating music, but also move to earn, play to earn. So you can get paid for walking and exercise and all the things like PUML. Or playing video games, like things like how Axie was so successful in, like, you know, really boosting a lot of people's lives. Like $10 a day for someone in the West is nothing, but $10 for a day in a developing country, people can, like, you know, that could be the difference between feeding their family or not. So it's a very exciting kind of opportunity. If these people can have access to DeFi and bank accounts, be paid for doing the normal things that they do every day, we could alleviate so much poverty all over the world. And now that we have access, like almost everybody in the world has access to mobile phones, and now with Starlink, everybody has access to the internet. So it's really revolutionizing the entire way that the developing world is going to progress.
It's really ambitious vision that you have, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. It's amazing. You're talking about bringing on the masses into Web3. And a hot topic at the moment is that's what everyone wants to do, but we need to educate people to do that. So I know, separate from PUML, you're running or working with the She's Blockchain Savvy group, which focuses on educating women and bringing them into the space. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience there and sort of what you guys are up to?
Awesome. So She's Blockchain Savvy was founded by Danielle Marie, and she is a full-time blockchain educator. She teaches the Diploma of Applied Blockchain at registered training institutes in Australia. It's one of the only actually government-accredited programs. So she basically came into crypto in 2017. Back then was one of the only women. Like, she would walk into a conference and then there'd be like 2 women in the entire conference. So she's gone through that. She went through the bear market, and then she really found that there was a problem with, well, it is a problem, but there was a lack of education that was directed towards women. So as a woman coming into crypto, there's a lot of crypto bros, you know, and it's not necessarily always the friendliest environment for women, especially if you're going to Discord and then it's like a dumpster fire and it can be like very sketch.
Verified.
And so if you're a woman coming into this space and then that's your first experience at dealing with crypto, because, I'm going to join Discord, and then you're like, oh, whoa, okay, no, this is not for me. So we decided to create some education courses that were more women-friendly, you know, and directed towards them. We created like a Facebook group to kind of like help people as well. So create environments that are more conducive for women to be learning. So we've got free courses, we've got paid courses, and then the opportunity, of course, to do that Diploma of Applied Blockchain, which is the government-accredited course.
So for the female listeners, where can they find, say, your Facebook group if they just kind of, you know, want to dip their feet? They not necessarily jump into Discord.
Yeah. So, well, our group is called She's Crypto Savvy.
She's Crypto Savvy on Facebook.
On Facebook, and then the website is called She's Blockchain Savvy. So we're actually Danielle is She's Blockchain Savvy, and I'm She's Crypto Savvy. So that's kind of like our kind of little pairing, because I'm a trader and then she was a blockchain educator. So yeah.
Awesome. That's super well rounded.
Dynamic duo.
Yeah. Check it out on Facebook. And can they be found on Discord as well and Twitter?
We don't have a Discord, but we do have Twitter. Cool. So yeah.
She's Blockchain Savvy and She's Crypto Savvy. Awesome. Definitely check that out. They're offering ample opportunity for anyone and everyone to get involved.
Yeah, like that's basically how I got into that, is that as a trader, I was trading full time, and like it was a kind of just very, you know, it gets lonely like when you're like home by yourself all the time, and I'm a very social person. So I decided to like put myself out there, and I started going to a bunch of meetups, and that's how I met Danielle. So it's kind of like, and that's ended up how I ended up working at PUML as well, is that I was at an event and I met Damien. So getting yourself out there and into your community and actually connecting with other people in the industry is like so important, and you just never know who you're going to meet. It's another reason why we're here today, is because we're going to NFT BrisVegas, because we're going to meet a whole bunch of other NFT people. And so many of these people I'm meeting up today, I've only met them through Twitter, and I'm going to meet them in person for the first time, which is very exciting. So I highly encourage people, if you are interested, then to just get out there and go to some meetups or go to events. There's so much stuff happening now, so yeah.
It's really cool to see some amazing IRL events popping up all around just the East Coast, from what we're aware of, Melbourne, Sydney, Queensland. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah, well, we got the big one coming up. So Oz Crypto, we've got the little one tomorrow. So the Aussie Crypto Roadshow, but then the big one is the Oz Crypto Convention, which is on the Gold Coast in September. So yeah, if you guys want to come up, it's 2 days. It's going to be crazy. We're running a bunch of events. Danielle's speaking. So yeah, we're going to be there the whole time. Come say hi.
Amazing. You run, is it 3 or 4 social media?
4.
4.
So that's my jam. I'm the social media girl. So yeah, I put my hand up for everything.
I'd love to get your take on the difference between Web 2 and Web 3 social media marketing, sort of aimed at, artists and brands that are trying to come on into the space or considering it. What different approach should they take when they're tackling that sort of transition?
100%. So we have very different marketing kind of plans depending on which audience we're targeting. So we have 2 main audiences. So we have the sports fan, which may or may not necessarily be a crypto native, but then we have the crypto degen natives, which are like your Web3, NFT, hardcore people. So we have a Twitter, Discord kind of program, and then we have like a Facebook, Instagram kind of program. But then we also have the corporate side, which is on your LinkedIn again. So depending on which market we're trying to like approach and to attract, we do have very different marketing strategies, basically.
I just want to raise the degen is an endearing term.
Oh yeah, no. So literally Emma, who was like, she was supposed to be here, but unfortunately she got held up. She's our crypto queen degen, like, she's like hardcore NFT. She has her own project. She's run multiple projects. So degen in the crypto space is usually a term of endearment. So yeah, but it just tends to be towards someone who is like more immersed, like actually like really, really passionate about the crypto side, as opposed to someone who's just maybe learning.
Which is what she's crypto savvy and she's blockchain savvy is all about.
I would call myself a degen. Like, I'm a trader, so.
Yeah, we've all been there.
I'm a day trader. Like, I'm trading the minute chart. Like,
yeah.
I'm a crypto degen for sure.
I love it. And that advice you gave for young women and any kind of women who are wanted to get involved with bright ideas, innovators, builders.
Yeah.
You just recommend just getting involved, checking out on meetup.com, checking out she's blockchain savvy, she's crypto savvy.
We're very passionate about trying to transition people, because there's basically a very big skill shortage, especially in Australia. We actually just went through it was recognized by the federal government. Surprisingly, the Australian government is actually quite pro-crypto. And maybe not pro-crypto.
Pro-tax. Pro-tax crypto.
It's pro-taxing crypto. It's very pro-blockchain. So the government is very pro-blockchain. We have our own CBDC in the works. They've put a lot of money into it. They actually are very supportive of building Australian businesses and promoting them overseas. So I was very surprised to kind of find that. I went to Blockchain Week. And we spent like a week with all of these like government officials and like big business guys and banks and things like this. And I was very, very surprised by how progressive we are when it comes to blockchain and technology side. But there's a huge skill shortage. So the Diploma of Applied Blockchain actually fell under the Job Maker program, and it was free. So the last 2 intakes at TAFE, it's a 12-month blockchain course. The government actually paid for it because they're trying to get people in. I'm not sure if they're still doing it, but it was classified as a desperate need, basically, category, and so they're trying to get people in it for free. So if you want to have a look into that, I'm not sure if it's still available, but it was the last 2 intakes. So there's like a huge gap, but people are also willing to train you. So you might not have all of 100% of the skills, But if you're passionate and if you want to learn, a lot of companies will take you on and train you in certain things, especially if it's not super technical areas. So if you don't want to be a coder, for example, but you've got accounts experience, we need account managers. If you got marketing like me, it's like I didn't have any crypto experience apart from trading, and now I'm like the marketing, manager for a project. So
For PUML.
yeah, for PUML. So whatever your skills are, if you think they can transition, a lot of the other stuff can be taught. You know what I mean? Because we just need people, and especially more women. So
Hell yeah. I love it. She's blockchain savvy and she's crypto savvy. Check them out. And so if people wanted to start getting involved with PUML, where can they find you? Is it on the App Store?
yeah,
Google?
so we're on Apple and on Android. It's just getpuml.io. So
Cool.
get.puml.io. And then you can just download it there. There's a bunch of free stuff, but then again, we have the subscription model too if you want access to all of the classes. But that's actually something cool we're going to do. We're actually going to be a level up program where if you are with us for maybe a month, you'll get access to the full app. So that's also in the gamification process that we're working on. So yeah, basically, if you stick with PUML and you're consistent, you'll be rewarded. That's kind of the whole thing. Yay.
That's amazing. That's amazing. As we're wrapping up, is there anything that you wanted to add to maybe people that are curious about getting in the space, whether it's a user or whether it's an artist or whether it's an athlete? Anything you want to say to just sort of let them know how they can do it and sort of what attitude you took when you jumped into the space?
Yeah, I think that the thing with Web3, it's so broad. If you're a gamer, there's games. If you're a finance person, we've got DeFi. If you're an artist, we have NFTs. If you're a DJ like me, I love trading. So there's other people who just really love the technology kind of side. So if you're a tech nerd and love coding, there's blockchain. So it doesn't matter what your interests are or what your abilities are or what your skills are. There is something in Web3 for you, and it's just get out there and start talking to people, because you'll never know what's out there until you actually start talking to other people in the industry, because there's so much going on in Australia. We are so lucky.
Yeah.
Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, there's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
You just got to put your hand up
Yeah.
and someone will be we'll take you for sure.
That's Get PUML.
Yeah.
She's crypto savvy and she's blockchain savvy.
Yay.
We've got one more before we wrap it up. We like to ask this question. What is a typical day in the life of Renee, the multi-manager, social media entrepreneur, builder in PUML, trader? What is it? How does your day start? Do you have a funny little dance, a special coffee mix? Do you have a mental mantra you like to lean on?
I spent half my life in Canada. That's kind of why my accent's weird.
Yeah.
I have a coffee pot. I'm a coffee fiend. So I'm a 5-6 cup a day coffee person. So
Yeah, I feel that.
my morning ritual is making a pot of coffee. And then I usually kind of head down to work. And we're really lucky because if you ever come down to the office, it's gorgeous. We're right near the beach. It's beautiful. And yeah, like I said, so we're in the office most days. But luckily we tend to go outside and do breaks, or we're filming TikToks and things. So, hey guys, I'm going to go on my break. I'm going to go for a walk on the beach for 15 minutes, really tough life. Yeah. And then if it's usually a Thursday or Friday, we crack a beer in the afternoons, maybe 4:00. Hey, it's beer o'clock time. And then, we usually go down to the bar and have drinks with the crew. So it's really cool to kind of meet so many other like-minded people, and to be able to then just chill and relax and enjoy. It's a really cool team to work with. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Accessible for anyone and everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Renee.
Thanks, guys.
Again, shout out. She's blockchain savvy. She's crypto savvy. Getpuml.io. And where can the audience find you?
Yeah, so that's I'm a CT girl. So crypto Twitter, any all the time. So
Cool. Amazing.
that's the best way. Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us today on NFTs Are For Everyone. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Woo.